Welcome back to the pod. Before we start, I'd like to thank our partners in Sept Up Studios and also for our sponsors over at the Lyon Rucking Club for this episode. And we're just going to dive right in. So welcome back, boys.
Good to be here.
Good to be here, man.
JLo, you missed our exploits up in Normandy, but we were up there for D-Day.
Tell us all about it.
And it was...
Noisy,
trip
rainy.
of a lifetime.
Oh, rainy.
So,
Rainy.
So to give the context, we went up to Billy gathered a team from Lyon and from around the world as part of representing Lyon Rucking Club, and we went up to Normandy to Ruck, to soak in the atmosphere, to experience that period, to commemorate those that have been, those that lost their lives. But it was very, very impactful.
Oh, good.
Very emotional, and I'd love to go again. I mean, it was like we were time traveling, stepping back into time.
This was in June?
This was
June 6th. Yeah, June 6th anniversary. So I think they do like the week around it, depending on where it falls on day of the week.
You're not that dumb. You know D-Day is in June, right?
Mhm.
Huh? Well,
I looked it up.
But we did the tour. We hired a private guide. If you had come for the tour part, we would have gone to more of the Gold Beach, Sword, and Juno, where the Commonwealth landed. But we stuck pretty much to the U.S., some of their airdrop sites and beach. So we had like 2 days. Yeah, did 2 days tour guide. Very knowledgeable.
very amazing. And we did the American way, like the bus.
Yeah,
Literally
we
for
got
500
bus.
people.
Well, it was
5 Americans.
It's probably like a 20-person party bus, and it was like 5 of us. So very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Thank God we didn't have to drive because the streets are very narrow.
But the most amazing thing is that in every church, in every village you stop, there is an amazing story. I mean, you can make a movie out of every village you stop in.
Yeah, the
That's-
community in Normandy really keeps it alive. I mean, there's plaques everywhere for an action that would have happened. It's mostly French that came out as the reenactors. So there's vehicles, tanks, uniforms.
It's
It's
almost,
incredible.
almost a bit surprising because if my history isn't too bad, it was a little bit, the tactic or the strategy of D-Day was scorched earth, was it not? So when the Commonwealth, as you say, landed, so the Brits, the Americans, the Canadians, and maybe some others, I don't know, but principally those guys, they landed in Normandy. And the tactic was to make sure we got to get in and we got to push them back, no matter the cost. And the cost to the French and to the villages and the towns
No,
of
it's very
Normandy
high.
was devastating.
Yeah.
Whole towns devastated. Collateral damage huge, in the hundreds of thousands for French people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So it surprises me a little bit to hear they commemorate it in the sense that there was such destruction from that.
Well, I mean,
Period.
certainly the French citizens who had no part in the army, police, or anything political, were just doing their jobs every day. They were caught between the Allies and the Germans. There's a town 4 hours from here. I keep forgetting the name. I haven't been to it yet. But on the way from southern France to Normandy, they murdered everybody in the town, burnt the town down, and it's preserved. So you can go there. I've only seen pictures of it, but
Oh, you show me.
they had the car burnt, the church, like there's no roofs in this small, like a hamlet. I wouldn't call it like a big town. That's what the Germans were doing on the way to Normandy beaches. So yeah, they were caught between, horrible scenarios. But the French resistance was blowing up rail lines, knocking bridges down, assassinating, high German officials. So, it was war. It's horrible. I mean,
But seeing everyone walking around in uniform,
It's amazing to see.
live military personnel, mixing it up with the actors.
and then the aircraft. I don't know if you guys, did you get to see much aircraft? Because on the
I mean,
6th, they flew the day you left,
Yeah.
they flew all day dropping
And
packages.
there was a drop also. You saw a drop off. Yeah.
Yeah.
This may sound like a dumb question, but do Germans come as well or not?
No, there were some Germans there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
German
dressed up like
reenactors.
Nazis.
Dressed up.
Dressed up like Nazi.
Yeah. They're cruising around.
Like, what's it?
There's a whole German camp. We went to a whole German camp.
What's the purpose?
Because they reproduce scenes.
Oh, I see.
actual
To
war.
take,
Right.
It's to really take you back
So-
to
They'll recreate a certain battle at a certain
I see.
spot. Like
I
we
see.
went to one farmhouse, and I guess they owned a lot of property. And on one side was like the U.S. reenactors, and then you go through the building. On the other side, there was a whole German camp, right? Like they had the BMW motorcycles and rocket launchers,
And at night they
and they
play.
were just hanging out. And then they do a demonstration. People come, tanks show up. It's trying to
But I was amazed by the number of things you can still buy.
there's
dated
a whole
from the war.
market.
Yeah.
There's a whole market on.
of paraphernalia from that
Yeah.
era.
Yeah, you can buy penicillin, you can buy medicines, you can buy chewing gums, you can buy almost everything
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
and it's not that expensive at some
No.
point.
So it's all merch.
Yeah,
You literally
there's the reenactor stuff. Like there'll be a whole thing.
it's unbelievable.
You
So
can
it's
buy-
a massive flea market
buy,
from 19.
You can buy like replica machine guns, which we saw the police get involved with somebody at one of the museums.
Yeah.
With the drinking.
Cruising around with a
The
gun.
guy had
It
a
was very strange. I mean, it was very
It
strange.
was very strange.
right.
I think it was a real one. And
Yeah.
he
Oh.
was pretending it was part of the cosplay he was playing and stuff. But it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
No, that's
just-
true. That's true. That's exactly
Police
how I
showed up,
remembered
took
it.
him away. He had
So
a
we
gun
found-
on him.
I mean,
And we were right there. We were right next to him. Yeah.
Assassination
And
or
this
something.
guy's got
We
all.
thought they were coming to us. I think we were standing behind the guy, and the police officer started made eye contact with me.
Yeah.
It was coming right to me, and then someone's like, "No, it's this guy." I'm like, oh. I can't get arrested at St. Mary Glee's. So look bad.
That would be a good story.
Great story, but
But you sat there just having a beer after, because we were rocking there, so it was it was also training, and then 4 B-52 bombers just constantly in circulation. You see
Yeah.
them going up the coast and they're flying around.
That's
Nothing gives you the same sense. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable.
and one thing I think you guys noticed, they have active duty from all the countries do a parachute drop on the 6th if the weather's right. So they do a bunch of training drops, and they do some school stuff. Guys were telling me they went to the schools and met the French kids and as American soldiers, and but they're Germans, and they all hang out at St. Mary Glee's right next to the church after their work day, and it's just beer flowing, bands. The anybody with a vehicle does a little parade at the end of the day. So you'll be sitting there and there's an active duty French paratrooper, there's an active duty German paratrooper, an American, a British, and everybody's just drinking beers and hanging out.
And what I liked also is when we watched the Longest Day movie. At the
Finally.
same time, the day, almost the same day we did the
I
tour.
think it's a 3-hour movie, so I had to run it 3
Yeah.
days in a row for everybody.
Then
It was on
Everybody
loop
went
in
to
the Airbnb.
But it makes so much sense then when you watch it and you're like, wow, I was there. It
And they filmed it there, which is the cool
Hey.
part. Yeah.
was very nice.
A very worthwhile trip. And the Rucking itself, I mean, we went with Cadre Dan. Shout out to Cadre Dan, who's killing it on social media. But he took us, now Billy, you're going to have to remind me, but he took us up the coast from,
We started, where did we start? We started in
was that a village?
Grand Comte Macy, which is just to the west of Pointe du Hoc.
Yeah,
So we went there. We took those photos. It was raining by then, right?
yeah.
Then he did a Cadre-led ruck. So we walked out about 6 miles, gave us a little history, just overlooking Omaha Beach, and then came back.
To put it into perspective, you can still see the scars in the land from
Yeah.
the bombs. So you've still got the divots, huge holes, and then fortified. I mean, it was impossible to think. It was a suicide mission. You've then got the fortified. What were they called?
Bunkers.
The bunkers,
Yeah.
and so
Which I was
The
disappointed
Nazis
were not that much maintained, Was not very
bunkers.
well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they keep them clean.
Yeah, but still,
And
it's not.
No growth
Gimmick,
on it.
yeah.
It used to be there's a big fence around all the big bomb craters now, but it used to be a walk through there. And you could walk into the bunkers, the gun emplacement. We didn't have time, but that main one we took the picture.
Yeah.
The main bunker that overlooks the beach inside is a nice memorial for the Rangers,
Oh,
like everybody's name who died there, the units that were there. That's pretty well preserved. But those other ones are just pretty blank.
Yeah.
I think they're probably picked clean throughout the years,
Yeah.
and then
But I think just by people. I don't think it's something that the government said.
they
have to
stepped
clean it,
in with that fence.
Yeah.
I think, and then there is some erosion. So if you remember Point de Hoc, it comes out to that point, but out in front in the water is kind of like like a terrain feature. It almost looks like a little mountain or a little pyramid coming out. 2 years ago, we were getting ready to go there, and it was starting to collapse. It was on video. They're showing that. So the erosion's really taking that out. So I think the government did step in and prevent you from getting too close to the edge, because you saw that. I mean, I think one wrong step and you're 100 feet down. But they preserved it. I think my first time there, early 2000s, and it's very well maintained. I think they do a good job.
But when you are with American for 7 days, so first it's very noisy.
That's probably a cast in itself.
Here we go.
I had
Frenchman's
to put
experience with.
I brought my soundproof. Okay.
He called
Stuff.
he called lights out about
And was
6
able to
o'clock
sleep.
every day.
And then they destroy everything you eat. I mean, you bought them a nice béarnaise, which is okay. And if you had the chance to sleep when they use the béarnaise, they will put ketchup in it, and they will make their own sauce. And they just fuck it up, and they call it like, how do you call it? Like I don't remember.
Remoulade.
Huh?
Remoulade.
In remoulade, they call it a remoulade. They
And
can't enjoy
basically an
a nice béarnaise. They have to put ketchup in it. I mean,
We were short on supplies. I'm hooking up the leftovers, and my friend Bob's like, "Oh, we'll just put the mayonnaise and the
See?
ketchup together."
can be preserved.
It was a sort of cultural experiment.
Yeah.
thing. So there was the Brit. I think I was the only Brit, right?
Yep.
3 Americans, 4 Americans,
Yeah,
and
and a Frenchman.
a fellow Frenchman.
Yeah.
You did longer than I did.
Yeah. No,
I probably added
very
to the
nice.
volume,
It was very
didn't I?
That's why you both brought your cars to the Ruck.
Yeah.
Out of the.
Any as soon as we finish this stuff, we left.
No, but honestly, the stories from Cadre Dan and the GoRuck team to be absolutely applauded. But there was this one story, Billy. I don't know if you remember it, Nick. Also, there was a guy who bought a house, and he had the metal detector out the back. Do you remember? Do you remember that story or not?
And
he found something that was a massive gold win, and it was like this guy's been scouting this area for a long time, puts in for the vote, and speaks to the treasures that are yet to be unearthed in France. But then he discovered. Do you remember the story?
I
He
don't.
found something.
Really?
Yeah, Cadre Dan was talking about
So
it.
it sounds like you bought the house just so you could unearth the garden.
But I mean, they found every day. They found stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He unearthed an absolute killing, and then I think also changed the property into a museum. Anyway, we'll have to hit up Cadre Dan on socials for that clarification.
So whilst you guys were doing that on the commemoration of D-Day, I was with my godmother and her partner, and he has a bunch of Second World War stuff in his garage, including an American Jeep, which is worth a fortune.
Yeah.
And it's an original Jeep. So apparently they made these Jeeps to be used one time. So they would make them come off the production line.
Suicide mission.
They're basically suicide machines.
Mass production, right?
And they come off and they go in with the soldiers, and the whole point is they're not coming home. And he's got one of them pristine, preserved in his garage. He's got a whole bunch of stuff, but he flies airplanes, so he's a bit of an airplane nerd. He wears t-shirts with airplanes on it, that kind of guy. Anyway, so he's lovely, by the way, and so but he is, he really is. He is, and he's an amazing chef. He wouldn't mix ketchup and béarnaise, that's for sure. Never in a million years.
Do what you got to do.
Did it taste good at least? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
It did not. It's not possible. So we went to the local commune des communes for the celebration, and that was very moving as well. We stood there. It was crap weather. This is in Bourgogne, in the Morvan. So we're in the kind of hills of Morvan, in the middle of a nice village, and they do this commemoration every single year. And the mayor comes out in all on his gear and his get-up, and the people come from all the villages around, because it's a commune des communes, so this is the biggest village in the area. And they read out, so they sing the national anthem, of course, and then they read out the names of all the dead.
Yeah, they do.
And this is not a village that's been attacked during the Second World War. This is a village that sent people to the front or resistance, etc. So these are people who went off to basically die, never came back. And there's a massive list. It's very moving when they're reading the list of all the names of all the people. It took, 10 minutes or something? And then they get the kids involved. So the kids are reading the names. So the mayor starts, and then someone else does, and then the kids come up and read the names. Anyway, it was, so whilst you were doing your thing, it was the rest, the rest of France is also doing other stuff. It's, it's good. It's good that they keep that kind of stuff alive.
Yeah. I thought you were doing live tracking. What's the development on your live tracking?
Oh, my day job.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, my day job is not going to, this kind of stuff. That's for sure.
Right.
People are very much alive in my day job.
How is it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going fine. It's going very well. In fact, the market, I mean, believe it or not, this is a very anti-cyclical, it's a very French way of putting it, isn't it? Counter-cyclical, I should say, market that I'm in. So the sports events world is doing really well. Prices are up. Participation numbers are maybe up 20-30%.
Is that right?
On last year, something like that. All the cool stuff gets booked up immediately. So, for example, you see they've just released the Tour de France.
Yeah.
The dates and the parcours, the circuit, etc. It's coming through my village this year. My mum's village.
Mum's village.
Yeah, we're one of the main
stops.
That's nothing. Okay.
Not up
No. Down in Aude, down in Les Corbières. Okay. So it's starting in Carcassonne. I think it's the fourth day, stage 4. And it starts in Carcassonne and finishes in Foix. And it's coming through my village. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
That's great.
It's going to be fabulous.
How come it never comes through Lyon?
It did.
Do you know why?
2012.
I mean, there is a reason. Yeah.
It's because our mayor, vaulted he may be in all his infinite green wisdom,
Bike lanes?
he does not want sports events. He is actively against sports events because it brings cars and people and pollution. And so he actively says to the organizers of the Tour de France, I don't want you anywhere near my city.
Wow. That's too bad.
So, regarding what you are going to say, what is selling like immediately for the Tour de France?
So, l'étape du Tour, which is where the amateurs can pay to ride on the same circuit, basically, not at the same time on the same day. But
it's one day before.
It's one route, isn't it? They choose one stage.
They choose one stage, and it's almost always the same one in the Alps.
I had a friend who did that. Shout out to Graham Smith, who is about 6 foot, I think he's 6'2" or 6'3", and a big rugby guy, took to cycling and was mad enough to do that.
Wow.
And I don't want to say his time, but anyway, he did very well, very accomplished cyclist, but very hard to do.
So this is 16,000 places, right? I think it's about 16,000, sold out in 4 hours. And people
60,000.
16,000 bikes are going to be traveling along 170k or something like that of road.
Totally amateur.
All amateurs. Yeah. Well, there'll be probably some ex-pros and stuff, but it's an amateur thing.
Yeah.
It's basically a cyclo-sportive, which means start when you want, finish when you want, more or less. I mean, it is timed, but it's not a race.
Sorry, but this isn't the stage that's going to be going. They're not doing the stage that's going through your mother's village.
No, unfortunately not.
That's a shame. Are you going to be doing this stage?
No, I'm not. No, I mean, l'étape du Tour, I didn't even think about it, but I'm going to be doing other stuff. But l'étape du Tour, I wouldn't do. There's just too many people and stuff like that. But anyway, it's a great event because it makes you feel like you're part of the Tour de France.
Doesn't it? This isn't the J-Lo of all this. I'm surprised that you haven't done it. I'm surprised that you're taking up the challenge.
Am I disappointing you?
Yeah, well.
I have other plans.
I bet your brother's done it.
No, but I mean, this is the second most
we
viewed sport event in the world. So 16,000.
No one else did that. We were in Paris for the Olympics.
Olympics, yeah.
And for the marathon, I think the night before, they made it like a regular marathon race, but it was for amateurs. Much like that, because we were trying to cross the street and it was like
serious money spinner.
Oh yeah.
So the people pay a lot of money.
Marathon race.
Yeah, you're basically running at the same time as all the infrastructure's up.
Yeah.
You got access to the same sort of thing. It makes you feel like you're professional.
Sure.
And
it's a great story.
Cyclists in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know if you cycle, but people like me who cycle, right? These wankers dressed all in Lycra on the bikes. In English, we call them MAMILs, which is very apt. It's, the middle-aged men in Lycra. And so this is me, right? People like me and my friends. And when we ride our bikes, which are very expensive, and we ride around on our bikes, there comes a point when you're riding where you think you're a professional.
Mm.
You know, you got cars behind you, you're doing 45k, you're pushing it, and you know, you think you're amazing, and people in the car just think you're an absolute tosser. They hate you. You think
There's a lot of hate.
you think you're in the Tour de France.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And the people behind are honking because they think you're amazing. But they're honking because you're being a prick, because you're
Right.
basically
Taking too much road.
taking too much road. So these guys who've gone and done the Étape du Tour, the 16,000 people, it's so that they can feel,
Sure.
it's like be part of something bigger than them. It's also,
Yeah.
it's going to be an
Yeah,
awesome
and then you
event.
can compare your time with the professionals and the various other stats
Exactly.
that come from.
You compare your time to
Yeah.
the pros,
Yeah, it's
although,
smart.
you know, it's not comparable because the pros are cycling in a peloton that's going at a certain speed, and there's so many people on the road at the same time. I've heard from people who've done it. It depends on when you start, and you know, whether you start towards the beginning with people who are good, you know, the better guys, and then maybe you can compare yourself. But if you're at the back now, it's almost impossible. You're just trying to navigate through people.
And then it's immediately followed by the woman Tour de France now, or something like that. Now,
Yeah, that's right.
that's new since last year.
That's
no?
quite new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite new. That will gain,
Yeah, that's
Popularity.
definitely gained popularity. Yeah,
but there's still quite a big gulf between, you know, the two. Although, you know, they've got the same sponsors, they've got the same teams, the same bikes, so everything is kind of the same. They
Now
use
it's streamed the
technology.
same way also.
Sorry,
It's streamed the same way also on TV. Like you can see it on TV,
is it
almost the same.
Is it on the same? Is
I
it
think
like?
it's in. On,
Is it the
on
same
Bleu,
guys? Yeah.
Mm.
You know what the most wonderful thing about watching the Tour de France in French is, when you're watching it on TV, is that they have the 2 or 3 sports commentators who will talk about the actual sport, and then they have this other guy
Yeah.
who talks about France
yeah.
Mm.
and the chateaus,
Yeah.
and
The food,
history,
Yeah.
story, yeah.
food and the culture
It's
of the areas. He's my
glorious.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
He's so
glorious.
erudite and so well spoken.
Yeah,
I could never imagine speaking as well as he does. And when he speaks, it's
so you're appreciating his French here.
not only
His French, but it's
the
not
language he uses,
right.
but the knowledge,
The knowledge
that he has,
is amazing.
and the way he talks about it.
So
And he talks maybe 20% of the time, something like that, compared to the others. But for me, he's like
What's his name?
70% of the reason I'm there.
do we have his name?
I don't know what his name is.
I don't remember.
He is quite famous, I
Yeah, yeah.
think. He's quite well known.
But I heard also that there are less and less cars prior to the, like, you know, the car where they were throwing things to people like gifts.
Caravan.
Yeah.
Caravan that
Caravan.
comes around before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is less and less of this because of for ecologic green stuff reason.
Oh,
So they don't want you to.
that is a shame.
Yeah,
That is a
that
shame.
is a
That-
shame because the
that
whole
brings it
point
short.
was going. I remember being a kid.
Yeah.
You wait hours to
Yeah.
see those.
The caravan's coming around.
When
and
it's
then-
100 cars and stuff.
Yeah. Mm.
Now it's gone.
Do you know what? I think
It's
you're
almost
right,
gone.
because I went to the Tour de France exactly 12 years ago, and in Sable d'Olonne, and I remember them
Beautiful.
chucking stuff
Yeah.
like crazy. And we were there, and I was there last year at the Tour de France, 2 years ago. There was nothing. Yeah, last year, and there was nothing.
Almost nothing yet.
Nothing.
That's sad.
The caravan was shorter, less stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. It is a bit of a shame. Isn't it? I mean, there's nothing for the TV, because for the TV audience, they don't care because they don't see the caravan. But if you were there,
They camp out for days, right?
yeah, people
that
camp out
stuff.
for days. They follow around France.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? You know,
And
France-
also, there used to be 2 girls on the podium greeting the guys that win.
yeah,
And now there is 1 man and 1 woman. Because they didn't want 2 ladies. Said it was misogynic to have 2 ladies and stuff.
So does a man greet them with a kiss or a handshake, or what?
No, he brings flowers and stuff. Yeah.
he brings flowers. Yeah, because the women, they greet them with a kiss, but
Yeah.
the
I mean, it's finished. Yeah. They
don't do that no more.
Yeah.
right.
Sad, no? I mean, little stuff like this.
I mean, I think it's more sad for me that it's not coming through Lyon. I mean, it came through in 2012. I remember we were
Maybe
there
next
for
year with the new mayor. Like if
So yeah,
Great.
what is the
This is a good
Olas
segue.
is
Tell
coming
us,
back.
yeah?
What's your prediction, Nico? Because I'm
Oh, it will be.
concerned.
I mean, there is. I mean, I don't know anyone, even people that voted for Doucet, which is the green guy, that will support him again for sure, because he just destroyed Lyon, in their opinion and in my particular opinion. And I think Jean-Michel Aulas will come back for sure because he's a legend. I mean, he's done so much stuff for the Olympique Lyonnais, the entrepreneurship, the vision he has.
Mm.
I mean, he will not destroy everything. I think there is some stuff he will go backward on what Doucet did, but his vision is better for the city on the international level.
I mean, Lyon is an international city. Deserves to be on the international stage. So
it's getting, you know, we just, I don't know. It's a
Close shot.
Yeah.
It's falling in and on itself. But I think, Ross, you need to maybe explain the context for people who are listening who don't have a clue what we're talking about.
right.
What's happened to Lyon?
Well, I was going to follow this up precisely with a question to yourself, JLo. Like, what
Well, I'm going to throw
what
it
is
back to Bill.
happening? what is happening in
The
Lyon?
answer.
So
What is your feeling?
Lyon
About the future?
So Lyon's an amazingly beautiful city, right? I think we can all agree with that. Anyone listening to this has heard of it, even if they haven't visited it. French people will tell you that Lyon is one of the gastronomic capitals of France.
Of the world.
Of the world,
Number
yeah.
one in the world.
No,
but for sure.
Yeah,
No,
this
but-
is-
I was,
it's
you know,
without
But
credit.
the Syrah is the number one.
I'm sorry, this was red meat to a Frenchman. I was waiting for Nico to get agitated.
You are a Frenchman.
And
you should be
he's
saying
everywhere.
I'm a half.
I don't
French.
say it. Pretty sure you write down what the first capital.
Yeah,
for
it's-
gastronomical. For sure, it's Lyon.
You know,
How many chefs we have around here, like on the 50 miles
radius.
3 stars Michelin.
Yeah, but don't forget that's a French system. But anyway, I remember spending far too long arguing with a Lyonnais until 2 a.m. in Barcelona about the fact that Lyon is not the capital of food of the world.
Please.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, la capitale mondiale de la gastronomie.
Yeah. Is this a French art? Is this
No.
tourisminfrance.com? You need to cite your source.
Definitely American.
Listen, what is the world capital of gastronomy? Lyon comes up. So not only is it France's
I
second
mean, it's
city,
well known.
but it is the
which
world
one is-
gastronomical capital of.
Which one is?
We've
I mean,
got
Nico,
Please.
no.
Ask
Give me a
number
number
Okay, well, what's number 2?
What's number
Nico, what's number 2 behind Lyon then? If Lyon's number 1 in the world, what's number 2?
Number 2 in the world? I will say Rome.
Okay, what's number 3?
I will say something in India, maybe New Delhi or something like this.
Okay,
Yeah,
what's
but look, you get into all sorts of things when it comes to where you can get the best restaurants, etc. But in terms of Lyon's place in the
But
gastronomical
it can't just be about
story,
it can't just be about restaurants.
No,
No, it's not.
It's about the culture. It's about
yeah.
it's about the Syrah, which is the biggest event in the world for food. It's about Paul Bocuse. It's about all those amazing chefs in a 50-mile radius. I mean, obviously, we invented so many recipes here in France, which is the basic of. I mean, even Gordon Ramsay told us it was Lyon in a very recent interview he made. So, no, there is no doubt about it.
There's no doubt.
Which
So
is
we'll start again. So Lyon is the gastronomical capital of the
Well,
world.
I would say
Start with
it's,
this.
it's a little bit okay. I mean, I would argue it's probably Japan, but anyway.
Yeah, so the big cities are going to have great chefs. There's no doubt about it. But Lyon as a city in its own right, and its links to the gastronomical story.
You know,
history.
the main constituent of all the dishes here is not even from here.
Which is,
A potato.
I will say it's butter, which is French.
Let him get through his point. What is your point?
I said constituent and not ingredient. But okay, with semantics aside,
Yeah.
my point being that the humble potato is the mainstay of the cooking here in Lyon.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a dish without it. It's not even from here. It's not even native to here. It's an import. Whereas, and so if you're kind of importing the main ingredient, which makes your gastronomy so special, surely that doesn't quite.
All right. Well, we'll agree to
Jive?
disagree on this.
Sec-
but let's get back to what makes Lyon so great.
You a lobbyist for the
For Japan, not at all.
somebody.
For all the sushi.
We're
chain.
trying to help out Lyon tourism here, and you're actively destroying it.
No, but this,
You will not go hungry.
no, I'm not saying the food is anything but great. But the second point is the wine. If you didn't couple it with the wine, then it's definitely not the gastronomic capital of food of the world. Would you agree with that?
I don't think so.
That's a yes. He shrugged his shoulders in a very
I
French
don't-
way. That's a yes.
No, because I'm a wine lover, but I know many people that don't like it, and still, and they are foreigners, and
you
for
can't-
sure this is
No.
amazing.
Nico, you cannot.
Now, because you speak as a French guy, but I understand that a lot of people don't link good wine and food like systematically. I mean,
But if you go to any decent winery around here, and around here there are many of the best in the world,
you will say that's what I do.
yeah, they will say you must drink this with this food, and you must have
But of
this
course,
food with this
the
wine.
most amazing experience is with wine, for sure.
So the
But
question
I
then
don't think
becomes,
it's mandatory.
to these wine guys, the question then becomes: do you make your wine thinking about the food it's going to be paired with, or do you make your wine independent completely
And let
of
the
the
chefs
food?
do their thing.
And I think the answer to that, I don't think the answer to that is no. I think the answer is yes. We do think about the food it will be paired with and how it matches with the food. The way it cuts through the grease of the duck, for example, is when you have acidity within the wine, and you balance that with the tannins, you are thinking about how that's going to marry with the food that you're going to be eating.
Right.
So my point is, if you can't drink alcohol at all, let's say, this ain't going to be the capsule of food of the world.
Right. But let's get back to, you were talking about the mayor. This is what you were talking about.
Here, Nico and I can find agreement.
Right.
So the story here, briefly, is Lyon was a gangbusters commercial city for ages and decades. And basically, it essentially got quite rich. Lyon is actually maybe surprisingly wealthy. And then what happened is, like all these sad stories go, it got a little bit too comfortable. And the people of Lyon voted in a green, ecological, communist, basically, I would argue, mayor. And that happened in 2021 or 2020? 2021 or 2020?
Oh, 2021, yeah. Because it's
2021.
4 years, it would be, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, so 2021. Everything changed after that, didn't it, Nico?
In a bad way.
In a bad way, not in a good way. Bill, you were here during that period, right? For the whole period?
We've all been here during that period.
Yeah, I got here end of 21.
Now, I read articles on this guy. I listen to interviews of this guy. I mean, he makes the hairs on my...
Since 2020.
The remaining hairs on my head stand on edge. Yeah. 2020, that's what it was, because it was during the COVID period. And I remember at the time for these municipal votes, I didn't bother to vote because I just thought, it's going to be fine. But in fact, it wasn't, because there was a mega low turnout, partly because it was COVID and these guys squeezed through. But it's also because, in my view, the complacency of the people who live around here, and all the kind of bobos, as we like to call them, they're all like, yeah, it's a good idea to have a green mayor. He's going to greenify the city. But no, he has effed it up.
How has he done that?
Well, one of the first things that he said and declared when he came into power was that Lyon was no longer open for business. He did not want outside businesses to come and set up shop in Lyon. This was finito. So no more. And the way they would do that before is provide them with land, tax incentives, subsidies, give them, lots of different things that the government can do, mainly around tax and stuff. But that's how you would encourage them. And then they would build these places like Techlead, which is up, not far from where you and I live, Ross, which is in the north of the city, where you have even billion-dollar companies there. And there are many, many companies in that one area. By building a concentrated area of businesses and give them what they need. He didn't want any of that. Instead, he's done the opposite and made it difficult for people to get to work, get home from work. He's actively told them, we don't want this anymore. He doesn't provide the same financial incentives anymore. And there's a bunch of businesses in the center of town who've kicked off because they've essentially had their lifeblood cut off.
Yeah.
Which is, traffic and people passing through.
Yeah. Very difficult to get into the city now.
And he doesn't.
Great once you're in to walk around, but to get in and to get out, and I imagine for businesses downtown, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy. But we think that there's going to be a change in next year.
Next year, yes. And I think so. Jean-Michel Aulas,
the president of
the ex-president of
Olympic.
I think he still have a little bit of connection with it.
But we would like to get, obviously, Lyon has a very good football team, an excellent rugby team, still developing, and would love to get, certainly the English speakers onto the podcast. So if you are listening to this, you will be listening. They will be listening to this, surely, right?
Of course they will.
Yeah. They would love to get
It's
them.
the first thing they do when they stop training. Get in the Lamborghini and turn on the podcast.
Yeah, and we're actively recruiting ruckers. We should probably talk about what rucking is, right? I mean, because you haven't been rucking, but
I haven't even seen
Lyon is a wonderful
I've
rucking.
never heard you guys talk about it.
And break you in.
Breaky.
This sounds like a bad episode of a prison thing.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fun.
Do you want to tell us, Billy? Give us the Lyon rucking plug. What rucking is, how often we're doing it, and what's lined up for Tuesday.
Well, it's very simple. You take a backpack and put some weight in it, whatever works for you. Like you said, Lyon, the hills, the rivers. It's a great place to ruck.
The beer at the end.
And usually they're designed around a finish point, which will probably be near
A watering hole of some sort.
a celebratory beer at the end, at least one.
But what's the ethos behind rucking then? Because if you got a bag with some, let's say, some rocks or something, some weights inside, what's the ethos behind it? What's the?
Well, I mean, obviously it's designed as a military, measurement point. Most soldiers have to do a 12-miler in three hours with 35 pounds. But, for civilians, it's great because it gets you out of the house, see your city. For me, it was great moving here because I would just put the ruck on and like, what's down in this direction? I'm going to walk down the Rhone until the sidewalk runs out. And, I got to see most of Lyon that way. The best is to do it with a bunch of, people.
That you enjoy talking to.
Yeah, because you're going to be talking for a while.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people who don't mind.
No, a lot of talking, which is,
A lot of talk, right?
No, but it was not something I was expecting at first.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You thought it
But
was
it's
just like
but a lot of
kind of like a
things can
5K.
happen,
Just,
yeah, it's nice.
You're on your own. No, a lot of talking, and then you fall back or somebody speeds up, and then you talk to somebody else. That
Is the idea that you walk uncomfortably fast?
No, you walk whatever works for you. Some days you feel like you really want to tear it up, and it's like, okay, this is the finish point. We'll meet you there. Or you're being really slow, you're hungover, or which I found that 3 miles is the end of hangover point.
Is that right?
Just as it's not scientific, but I proved it.
It sounds about right. 5K.
If you can get a 5,
sweat enough over 5K.
Summertime helps get rid of it faster. But just in my own diagnostic. But yeah, you slow down. Or a couple guys brought their kids out, so getting to know them and their experience here. Right, Luke and Emmett, different perspective on the place. Now the wives want to start their own thing, so we're not sure on the the crossover. A lot of guys get out there because of the wives, and but we can
It's a bit like golf. This.
yeah, exactly.
Imagine the wife start coming up to golf. Like, hold on a second.
I mean, they were talking about
Be some crossover. I mean, there is one event that I'm gonna run soon. I hope if we get enough people to do it. But it's kind of like a ruck and then a workout, so you can make it anything you want. I was talking to you about for Veterans Day, GoRuck sponsors they call it Chad 1000. It's kind of like a CrossFit workout, but it's 1,000 step-ups. You decide what works for you, and you decide on the weight, but 1,000 repetitions. So we did that about 3 years ago, and that'll take you out no matter what you pick.
And it's crazy how much, because I'm used to lift weight. I used to go to the gym every day and stuff and try to build muscle, but how 10 kilos or 20 pounds, 25 pounds in your backpack is a lot of weight.
You feel it.
You can't realize it, but after a few miles, you're like...
Right, in the beginning, you don't feel too bad, and then about 4 or 5 miles.
You want to show off with 20, yeah, it's easy, 20, but on your back,
Right,
20 kilos, fuck, that's a lot.
yeah. It's a good workout.
It's a great workout, and especially for
You need
losing
a
weight.
bag that's adapted to this.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
just
the
take
thing, yeah.
a
GoRuck
backpack,
is a real brand.
GoRuck does have the best. With
If you want to send
I
us
do not get
600 pounds,
sponsorship.
Tell
but,
us more about that.
There's a
But it's
special
tough.
discount code at the end of the podcast.
It's a lifetime guarantee on that. So
That's interesting.
I've already worn one out.
Lifetime of rucking.
Yeah,
it's pretty expensive.
It is
pretty
expensive.
it's an investment.
Yeah.
Like a backpack is literally like 400 euros.
What?
Three, four, yeah.
The GoRuck EU site has a sale now for the Rucker. It's like 123.
Yeah, it's very well built, but it's for, because I don't think they maybe they sell 1,000 and 1,000 of it. So
Right.
it might be
It's
cost to scale.
I don't want to use the word boutique, but it's if you're just looking to work out, you're not going to buy this Ruck. But if you like it, and you can't beat the quality. So I had one that wore out on the strap. Took a picture of it, sent it in to their customer service. They're like, we can't fix that. What color do you want? And then a
That's
couple of
always
weeks
it.
later, I got the brand new one.
Yeah, really impressed with the packaging and delivery.
Customer
outcomes.
service. And I got to say one thing though: the T-shirts, they don't die.
They don't die.
They don't die.
It's very well made.
And if anyone's going to know Billy, it's going to be you.
I
like-
Is it
I might overindulge.
you can point us to?
I might overindulge a little bit, but
No, it's
So
great,
it's-
and I think the other important point, Nick, you touched on it, but it's the mental health side. So you are going out with mates, you're doing something hard, you're doing it together.
getting the sunshine.
Yeah, getting sun on your face, hopefully wind at your back, and you go out, and especially when you're doing it to mark special occasions, it's a sort of giving thanks. But there's nothing better for weight loss that I found. Absolutely nothing better for weight loss.
You do it your way, which is pretty nice. I mean, we were like setting up that lower.
Yeah, so I garden
Yeah.
with it. So
You
I'm
garden
like-
with it. Take it back 10 kilos, 50 kilos, and you just garden with it. And
Yeah.
I mean,
And that way you're
especially when you're gardening, you're
That's right.
squatting.
You're moving around.
Yeah.
So you're doing all and then by the end of the day, by the end of the day, you've not only fixed your garden, but you've had a good workout too.
One thing about Normandy I was happy with is that you guys got to see outsiders from
Doing-
Lyon
yeah.
doing GoRuck.
Yeah.
So you didn't just think I was like, come out with this weird cult thing.
I thought you were the owner of the stuff.
I was like,
me a
thank God, I
400
get to see
euro
other people,
backpack.
and I'm checking out the gear.
Yeah.
Because they had the,
It's a very
we were
community.
doing the 12 miler, right? We were doing the 12 miles, but they had, start point was the same for the 26 miler. So I thought that was good where you could see the,
Mm.
the
And you
different
finished, Ross, you finished.
yeah, you
running.
stepped it out.
Yeah, well, I can't. So I'm sure
You were
you'll
too
have
excited.
Well, when I see
Competition.
competition,
Yeah. One
So
guy
I
was
see-
going, he said,
yeah. So
Take it
these
up.
Start running.
these two guys with just weighted vests on, they didn't have the proper rock on. I'm sure they seem to have weighted vests. Anyway, they didn't have
Right,
much
right.
weight,
Yeah.
but I was carrying quite a bit of weight. And then they took off. So we got through the tour part, right, which was the halfway point. So Cadre down takes us to whatever it was. But I ended up doing 21K. So I don't know what ended up happening. But
I think he brought us a little further
yeah,
to see the western edge of Omaha Beach.
yes.
It was
That's
a
what
little
they did,
farther
yeah.
than the 6 mile point.
and then we turned around to come back, and these two,
Yeah,
they took off like rabbits.
few
And I was like, oh, Billy, it's so I went to chase them down, but didn't catch them. But it was great. By the time we get back, pissing with rain into the ocean, nice bit of
Get
cold
a free beer.
and a free beer.
It seems to me with this thing, it would be quite nice to go uphill as opposed to just flat.
That's
I
the
want to
point.
do that. I
We
want to
do-
get it up into the Mont d'Or.
Because you got the Mont d'Or just here. So it seems to me like what would be cool is if you start in the center of town and make your way all the way to the top of the Mont d'Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
and back down again. Because that's basically
When do you want to do it?
after this. So it's basically 7K more or less. Depends where you go to, but to my house, right, which is at the top of the Mont d'Or.
You see? No, that's it. Let's make it clear.
That can't be the
I'm
start.
from Collonges-Mont-d'Or. Collonges-Mont-d'or is okay, okay? But I'm from the lowest part of the Mont d'Or, which is just beside Paul Bocuse, so it's a good area.
It's
But
very
Mr.
good.
So the highest you are
Do you
in
know why
Mont d'Or?
Paul went there? Because the land was cheap. They needed a lot of space for the car park.
No, he said because he was able to afford La Saône, and people are not able to afford La Saône anymore, so that's what he said to rich people.
He's winding you up.
Yeah, and then now he's showing up because he lives in the top of the Mont d'Or.
But what the mayor is doing to slow things down on the business front hasn't stopped Lyon emerging as a podcast hub in France and in Europe,
Yet.
and none more so than this podcast.
Mm.
Did you guys catch my conversation with Antoine Gliksohn?
Yes.
What did you think of the
Well, I was just,
conversation?
I was just taken back by the professionalism of it. Moving from the audio right to the video, and just you seem to be in your own skin there and so did he. It was, you know,
So to speak.
it didn't seem to be a, you know, you had like a big learning curve there. I felt like it was.
It's a tough transition to go from audio to video. I don't know how you guys have found it today. This format, obviously, a little bit different to the format that we've been doing with the audio in our audio studio up in the Mont d'Or. But you know, all of this stuff comes into it in terms of the table, the microphone, you know, where you're sitting. So it was brand new, and the first time that, you know, I'd met him in person. But what I will say is incredible to sit down, you know, with a leader of an organization, whether that be an executive director, a president, a secretary general, but for him to do a long form like that, you know, and to stay on point, to reveal a lot, to provide some proper insights. I have to sort of take my hat off to him, you know, for doing it. And the content that we've got from it, I hope, you know, is going to build in terms of raising the awareness and, you know, developing campaigns, both for fundraising awareness, but to really try to get a lot of momentum, you know, behind the organization so that they can really deliver results in the field. And I think that, you know, that's a part of it. You know, as a leader, you are the spokesperson. And, you know, when we're looking at leadership, you've got to get in front of it. You've got to represent it. And so for me, you know, talking to him was really interesting. And I hope that, you know, the audience that we're watching were able to take away, you know, valuable new insights to albinism and, you know, and the community's causes. What did you think?
My question will be, I didn't really get the answer to what I was expecting, just in terms of medication. Is there any possibility in the future that there will be a cure to it, or like a reversible type of stuff? Like, I don't know if...
He was very specific to say that no, I think is the short answer to that.
No forever, do you think? Or you think it's like...
I don't think you could say sort of no forever. But, you know, there's obviously the genetics part of it and the genetic research part, which is a huge part that, you know, we're going to be looking into. And that requires obviously a lot of grant money and a lot of research needs to be conducted there. But I don't think that this is something big that they're, and I might be completely wrong. It's a good question. But he was very specific in the podcast to say, look, you know, this is not about curing albinism. This is about making sure that people with albinism can live, you know, to the full, to their full potential. So I hope that through this podcast and through, you know, the various other people that we can get on, and, you know, if it can be a regular talking point amongst us, then I'm sure we can, you know, certainly raise awareness to what is, for me, a very, you know, vital subject.
But the quality of life for a person who has albinism, the only, from my understanding, the only thing that changes is you got to be careful of the sun.
Yeah.
Got to wear special glasses, maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, that's pretty much it.
So it doesn't change your life like someone who's got Down syndrome, because then you got to take care of that child, that person the whole time. Or depends on the level, I think, of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
Some people with Down syndrome can work, some cannot. But that's a life changer. Whereas it doesn't seem to me that having a child, for example, that has albinism is a life changer.
Yeah. No, there's
you got to make adjustments,
subtle adjustments. Yeah,
but it's not a life changer.
Absolutely right. I mean, she will be able to, and especially, you know, growing up in Europe, which looks to be, you know, where she will grow up. But no, there's absolutely nothing, you know, stopping her from doing. Okay, you know, I don't think that her hand-eye coordination when it comes to, you know, racket sports will be something that, you know, she'll naturally excel at.
She won't be representing France at the beach volleyball either.
Representing France, you know, definitely.
Well, I suppose she could wear all cover, I suppose.
So there's elements of that, you know. Obviously, a marathon runner, you're out, you know, in the sun, and you know, you can protect yourself. So there's good measures.
But my serious
But it is a
question
good
behind that
point,
frivolous comment was: can you do sport outdoors wearing? Can you cover yourself up completely in clothes
Yeah.
and be safe doing sport outdoors all day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
there's no limiting factor.
There's no limiting factor. You're
Yeah.
you're applying your sun cream. You're out at specific points. There is protective clothing, and all of which we'd like to sort of help where we can. I've certainly spoken with my team who are fully behind, the efforts across campaigns and fundraising to make sure that there is more awareness around albinism in general and what the support network and networks are available to parents. What I will say is that there are it's an incredible community in terms of how many albinism associations there are, where they are, what they're trying to do. Like it really is.
What's the percentage of the population that has this?
So this is where the data on it becomes very. This is where there's a shortfall in the data. So, and this is really interesting across the board, and this is where I think AI can really help, because the data is not accurate, and so the conclusions aren't great.
Why is it not accurate? Because you just have to. I mean, you see it when the child is born, so you can just
It's quite easy
check.
to
Yeah.
identify.
Yeah.
It's easy to identify, but I think that you're relying on accurate sensors. You're relying on that data being kept
But there
up
must
to
be an
date.
estimate,
There are estimates, and
like 1 in 10,000.
it's sort of the estimates that they go with, and in the podcast he sort of touches upon why it's absolutely absurd. There was some random study that was done in, I want to say Kansas or something, I can't remember exactly where in America, and they came up with this 1 in 17,000, and then that was then taken and used worldwide as a global statistic. So you'll still get that, and I'm having online conversations now with AI to sort of say, look, what is the reality in this, and they're still spitting out these figures rather than pulling on the accurate data. So I think that there is definitely a need for the alliance, a global organization, to get a hold of that data, obviously. And but you've got to be very careful, obviously with security, privacy, protecting all of this, and making the sad part, which comes out tomorrow, which is part 4, is the persecution of people with albinism, especially in sub-Saharan Africa.
Does it happen? Was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah.
Is your daughter already suffering from bullying or something like that at this age, or when does it come? Do we have any clue? Yeah, kids, because
Kids
are brutal.
Yeah,
Like
kids
they
are
are.
brutal. I would say no at the moment. I think it's just starting to emerge, which is why I wanted to ask Antoine the question of, how old were you when you first became aware, of your condition? Certainly not a disability or an illness. So, getting the language right around it, again, was another topic that I wanted to have him explain. But the situation, I think, is unique for us, given that, I'm blonde hair, blue eyes. And at the moment, our daughter is definitely identifying more with people that look like me. Whereas my wife is Asian, and, she'll say, Daddy, we have blue eyes and we have blonde hair. And whereas my other daughter will look more like Mummy. And so in her mind, she's sort of figuring it out like that. And I'm sure it'll come. We're just trying to, and this, in the strange twist of it all, is your child kind of actually, I've come to learn, does have that inbuilt mechanism for the most part to deal with life, right? To deal with life as they're going to experience it. I'm sort of becoming more acutely aware of that. So, and perhaps that's just me being hopeful, but I'll be doing my best to make sure that she can defend for herself and understand it as clearly as possible, which is part of the journey, right? It's part of understanding from other people, which is again why I was so impressed, to give so generously in your answers at a very personal topic, whilst leading a community, I thought was very, very impressive. And so, so we'll have the conversations across the areas. I'm looking to speak with, leaders in the dermatological world, leaders in the ophthalmology world, leaders within nystagmus, leaders within advocacy. We had a big week because we had the UN independent expert presented a report and her findings in front of the UN General Assembly. So that was another opportunity, to promote the issues. I think that there is a need, if I could give my sort of advice to it, there is a need to keep things very direct and very on point, so to speak. So WHO has recognized sun cream as an essential medicine. And from there, don't try and fix all the other issues, but just let's get sun cream and effective sun cream delivered to where it's needed most, together with the awareness of how to apply, when to apply. And I think within our generation, I remember growing up very clearly in the Far East, sun cream, you had to have it, and still to this day, my sister who is in that world, in the dermatological world, would always sort of recommend sun cream as a way of retaining beauty and youthful looks in the future when you get old. So there is clearly damage that's caused, and I think that the more parents become aware of that, the better.
As I said to you earlier today, it keeps popping up in my feed.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Like it's the thing. It used to be bikes. Now it's albinism.
Right.
So it's clearly successful at getting in front of me. That's for sure.
So anyway, we'll do more of these. But the health part in terms of looking at the supplements, learning about sun to get, when to get it, etc., and other elements. Do you want to tell us about your health update?
Health update?
How are we doing?
I think now I tried so many supplements, especially when I was working out a lot and stuff. My goal was to maintain energy and to maintain a certain level of muscle also. But I think now I'm really focusing on three things, also related to my health condition. It's
do you want to just tell us?
vitamin.
Do you want to just tell us before we go into it? So what's for those that didn't see the previous episode?
So I have a multiple sclerosis.
You have multiple sclerosis.
For more than 10 years. So it goes up and down. You get some crisis from time to time, maybe once a year. It can be very light, but it can be also like, I lost the use of my legs for a few months last time. So it can
for a
be
few
hard.
months?
Yeah, for 3 months I was almost unable to walk. So then it's come back.
No Rucking.
It's coming back. No Rucking now. You were lifting me up, and it was. No, but the thing is, so I really realized that vitamin D is the number one supplement you should take, as long as magnesium, essential. I mean, magnesium is responsible for, I think, over 1,500 chemical reaction in your body, just magnesium, but you have to take the proper magnesium, which is, of course, the most expensive, which is a chelate version, not easy to find. And also creatine. Creatine is, I think, when you talk creatine in France, it's like taking the highest level of drug you can take in sport, or I don't know why, when it is a very basic supplement, especially when you're working out. But it's very good for mostly, yes, building muscle and retaining water to get bigger muscle and energy. So, but now it's becoming something that is proven to be very efficient on your brain and keeping your brain well hydrated, and also improving your brain on a general manner. And so that the three main supplements I take at the moment: creatine, magnesium, vitamin D. Especially when you're over 40 years old, that the three number one you should take supplements.
Is there a magic capsule, or does one have to go and find the three different things?
What do you mean? Like
vitamin D,
yeah,
magnesium,
yeah,
and creatine.
Yeah.
Is there one pill or one medicine that does all of those?
No. no.
Or you
It's
got
never, it's never, you always have this, but it's never the proper level you need. That's why I always recommend the powder version, because you can get the most out of it. Like I need 5 grams. I can take, instead of taking 20 pills to get the proper amount I need. So powder is always the best, except vitamin D is always come in very small cups, and you can take 10,000 unit a day, which is much more than you need, but that's very good. Yeah, magnesium and creatine, you take powder version. It works very well.
Yeah, so you feel that all of this works.
All of it very work on my energy level, on my ability to function all day through, which is one of the main problem with my illness, which is to keep the energy level. Like if I didn't take any magnesium prior to coming here, I would be literally dead. Yeah,
right.
And also able to improve my memory, also memory, focus. So yeah.
So someone like you, Nico, with multiple sclerosis, something I've only ever heard of, I don't really know very much about. You're able to teach us non-multiple sclerosis people stuff that we should be taking anyway, just to help ourselves.
Yeah.
And your recommendation is vitamin D, creatine, and magnesium.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about Nic's journey into this is that indeed, because of a heightened sensitive situation, you've now, and a guy that used to physically train hard at the gym, you got the news of your condition, and then from there, and also, but it's linked to genetics too, right? So
we don't really know, but there was no case of multiple sclerosis in my family, so
okay.
So, but there might be.
Right, and you did the genetic testing, or
no, I did not know.
Okay,
no, it's not mandatory, but
yeah, it's interesting though, because from that, you then were able to strip it all back. You lost a lot of weight. Start introducing supplements as you would hear them, and essentially live a better life because you were managing it so acutely, right? You have to manage it so acutely.
You have to live with it. You have to manage it. Yeah. Definitely.
Direct medicine?
No, it's not. It's just symptomatic kind of treatment.
Right.
So
he's always calling me up and saying, I'm now on this, or methylene. I mean, all of them really, which is a great.
I like to try new stuff.
You like to try, yeah, but you're going to, like, why not? Why not try it?
Just to try it for at least 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. To be very, very to see the difference. I mean, and also omega-3 is it's a big topic also. Omega-3.
And is the healthcare in France, has it been good?
It's amazing.
For you?
It's amazing.
Yeah, the healthcare in France is absolutely fantastic.
I mean, I don't pay anything on my. I mean, I'm taken in charge 100% on anything which is prescribed to me.
Yeah.
When I saw the price of my medicine in the US, it's 20,000 euro a month, and it's free for me in France. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, hold on a second.
American.
Vitamin D,
it's free.
Creatine and magnesium cost you 20 grand a month?
Cheap? No. The syringe I take every day.
So there is
every month. Now the main it's called Kesimpta. The main medicine I take to prevent new crisis, new peaks of my.
Right.
This one is cost a lot of money.
I see. So there is
all the supplement I pay for my client.
Yeah.
Right. So what is this medicine?
It's called Kesimpta. It's basically it's strange because most of the medicine in multiple sclerosis and in AIDS are
AIDS.
Yeah, AIDS. Yeah.
SIDA.
SIDA are quite linked. And it's basically made to lower as low as you can your white cells for the medicines to work.
Oh, I see.
As strong as it can, as good as it can, and so it's amazing that it's free.
Yeah,
it's very amazing, very lucky.
Well, nothing's free; someone's paying for that.
Like we said, like basically because I was working in the cardiology world, selling defibrillators and pacemakers. A heart transplant in the US is $1.5 million in total.
What?
When in France it's free. You have to wait 3 years in France, average, to get, if you're not on the emergency list, to get a new heart. But in the US it's 1.5 million that you have to pay. It's crazy. Huh?
For a heart transplant.
Heart transplant, yeah.
Anyway, so this is this is one area that
We will talk about.
we will be talking
Yeah.
about. And so, yeah, I think on that note, we will be doing, hopefully, this is a home team with the guys, and hopefully we can do that once a week, where we'll be talking about podcast episodes, health, rucking, law enforcement, the evolution of J-Lo's wardrobe as well as his business. You're going to be wearing that
I had to go
jumper every single
I had to go
podcast from now on.
deep and dark into the wardrobe to get this. I realized I didn't have any jackets.
That's fine.
They're all stored away somewhere.
It looks good. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, very much for joining me, and
Thank you.
everybody for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You're the leader of the wolf pack with the power